Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Good Journeys Tarot. This is Rosemary, and today we're going to be walking through one of my new decks. It is the Arcana Sacra, Arcana Iris Sacra, and I'm going to be doing it side by side with the Thoth so that you can see um, the difference. This does contain many of the images that are in this deck, the symbols, those important things that we're looking for. But it does vary in some places. One of the biggest differences is, while this one has the Hebrew letters on the cards, this one does not. So that's something that will be slightly different. But it does have the astrological and the planetary signs that are on this deck. So let's flip the camera around and let's take a quick look through these cards. I know that many of you have already seen this deck, but I've just gotten it. I'm excited about it, and I wanted to show it to you. So I thought I would compare it to the deck that it is inspired by. Okay, here we have our Fool, which I've talked about briefly in other videos. You can see that many of the symbols are there, but it's just a simpler image. Here's our Magus. There's a Priestess. There's our Empress. This card, every time I see it, it freaks me out just a little bit until my eyes focus. But I'm not going to say why. There's the Hierophant. And you see how many of the elements are there. It's just such a simpler image. It's so much easier to pick them out to me. And it could just be my eyes. Here's the Lovers. This is one that is just slightly a little different. Here's the Chariot. Quite a different image. One of the things I found is that while the images are different, they do capture like the Thoth meaning and experience on the ones that are different. Shh. Alright, there is the Hermit. The Wheel. As always, my dogs will not cooperate with me. Alright, and there's Lust, or as we know it in RWS, Strength. Both beautiful Hanged Man. Devil. So it's actually almost the exact same image, except for that this one, there's two people combined into one, is what it looks like. Whereas here, the two people are distinctly separate. The Devil is one that's probably the most different, because here it's clearly a goat. I mean, here it's actually a depiction of a person with a goat's head. But the same ideas, the same concepts are in there. If you look at these two ovaries or eggs or spheres at the bottom, you're going to see that this one depicts loss and death, and this one actually depicts life and DNA and that type of thing. So the concepts are there. It's just that it's so much simpler to read. Here is our Tower. the star, which this star is gorgeous. And I think this one captures it really well. Moon. The sun. The ion. Now these images are very different, but they definitely evoke the same feeling and thoughts and ideas. This one is just so much more appealing to me than this one. I just, I don't know what it is about the Egyptian mythology that really just it doesn't appeal to me. It doesn't appeal to me for some reason. And then our universe card. Well, these are almost, these have all of the same elements. It's just gorgeous. Okay, so the pips are just that, pips. They're just slightly different. I'm not going to really say anything about them. I'm just going to flip through them really quickly so you can see them and compare them. Here are quartz. Our quartz in this one are less dramatic. They're very simple. The key things are there are different borders around them, and there are also, in some cases, there is an image or images from this card on this card, but primarily it's just a portrait. Whereas these are much more action and energized. I knocked the camera off earlier, and I'm not sure I got it in exactly the same place, which is why we're getting that glare. I've been dying to read with these cards, which is one of the reasons that I'm doing the video today. This has got to be one of my favorite cards in the Thoth I love this knight. So that's a side-by-side comparison of the Thoth and the Arcana Iris Sacra. I'm going to get that correct without messing it up eventually. So real quick, I'm going to give the cards a shuffle and pull a card for us. I didn't turn them all the same way, so there we go. All right, let's see how they shuffle. I've been dying to do this since I got them. They shuffle nicely. I cannot get the overhand shuffle thing. I never have been able to. I think I've mentioned that before. I am definitely a ruffle shuffler. And one more for good measure. So let's just go ahead and cut them. Always cut in thirds. That's just the way I am. And let's see. We got the 7 of Chalices, which in the Thoth is debauchery. And of course, this is one of the things between the Thoth and the RWS that's interesting, is that some of the cards which are depicted as positive in the RWS are depicted as negative in, well, not necessarily negative, but in the opposite way in the Thoth. So, like this card, this happens a lot with the 7s, like the 7 of Pentacles. In one deck, it's actually, appreciation for what you've accomplished. And the other one, it's actually failure, which both of those ideas are really in that card. We don't know what the results of our seeds are going to be. Are they going to be fruitful, or are they going to be not fruitful? And the same is true here for the 7 of Cups. In the RWS, of course, this is all about choice, perhaps being overwhelmed with choice. Here, they choose the word debauchery, which, basically means, excess. And that's certainly another way of looking at it. It's going to be interesting to see how this reads, for me at least, in a tarot reading with other cards. The key words are one of the things that have always bothered me about the Thoth, because if you're reading it and you see the key word, that's where your mind immediately goes. You don't think about what this card actually means to you, or what your own meanings for it are. So it's going to be interesting to read with a specific meaning for the card, rather than having it so open-ended like it is in the RWS. So that's just a quick flip through. I hope that you guys have enjoyed it. I hope that you'll come back and see our next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, good journeys.